All right, we are on the draw in match 2 of this league with Looting Rug Delver. Excuse me. How likely am I to keep this hand? We have a Delver, a Bolt, and a Snapcaster Mage that we're eventually casting. I think it's fine. I don't really like it. I'm going to keep it. Wonder if that was just bad. We only have 13 green sources in the deck. We're not super likely to find one. I guess we're decently likely to find one by, say, turn 3. Opponent is on Power Plant. Well, I am very glad that I have this Delver of Secrets in my hand. I think if you don't have Delver, this is a pretty easy mulligan. If you don't have the Bolt, it's also a pretty easy mulligan because it probably just dies to any aggro deck. With those two and Snapcaster Mage, I think it might be worth keeping. Do they just have Natural Tron? They have Natural Tron. I don't think there's much of a reason to keep that otherwise. Unless maybe they just had the two. We're going to bottom both of these. Both of these. In for 3. I bottomed the Steam Vents because I want this Delver to flip, if possible, next turn. Whoops, that was a misclick and a punt. All right. So, you got Natural Tron, opponent? At this point, I actually do hope they have Natural Tron. They did, okay. That way, we're less likely to have won if I didn't screw up. This is going to eat my land. I'm eating the land if I'm them. Oh, how I'm eating the land. So if I had played Delver there, we'd have this island in play. They might still eat the land. Maybe they would take out the Aberration instead. I'm not sure how that plays out. We're going to be tracking damage for if this Delver would have flipped had I played it and the land. Not to mention if it wouldn't have flipped and I would have... Okay, so it would have flipped off of this, so there's that. We probably have to kill this Karn now, as opposed to just going face with as much as we can. I'm going to play this. They're going to have Ugin here. I'm going to cry and probably just scoop. They have an Ugin. Alright, are they... I'm assuming they're ticking down, but maybe they bolt us in the face instead? They did not bolt us in the face. Alright. That's the kind of game against Tron that I don't think we win anyways, but we would have had a chance if I hadn't just completely screwed it by making that misclick. Against Tron, I kind of like Ancient Grudge to blow up O-Stones and maps while they're tapped out. Revelry does the same thing. These both double as ways of staving off Wormcoil Engine. Mana Leak is going to come in. Just more ways to slow them down and hit their top end. Ceremonious Rejection is just so amazing. It doesn't win you the game like a card like, say, Rest in Peace does against all-in graveyard decks, but it's just so powerful at countering a single card. Alpine Moon, 1 mana turn off Tron, I am in. And Damping Sphere, 2 mana turn off Tron. Not quite as good, but you know, I'm thinking of changing one of these to another Alpine Moon to be slightly better against Tron, while also having an improved Valakut matchup, although Valakut's not super popular right now, I don't think. The downside to that is our combo matchups, Storm and KCI, get a little worse, but I think we have a lot of cards there anyway, so it's probably worth it. I might have to tweak another card around to have enough stuff to board in against Storm, since I have these 3 Vapor Snags I have to cut anyways. But we'll see. That's what I'm bringing in. What am I taking out? Some burn spells. Forked Bolt. A Lightning Bolt to go with it. What else we have here? 3 Vapor Snags and a Dismember. Like I said, these come out a lot. They come out a lot. Alright, let's give it a go. Let's try to actually play our second land on turn 2 this time. It's a good strategy for winning games of Magic. Hit your land drops and play your spells. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I would love to play first. That seems like a good keep. I'm probably playing this on 3 since I am on the play. If I was on the draw, I could see jamming that on 2 so that they can't Tron me. I'm going to start off of Visions, I think. I'm a little sad that I'm not going to have this on the bank, in the bank for Pyromancer on turn 3, but I assume we're going to find a one mana spell by then. Don't need the 4th land, and I don't really want Revelry either at this point. Tronland map, you got it. Spell Pierce, okay. So that's good stuff to go with Pyromancer and friends. I like that a lot. I just want to jam Pyromancer. How do I feel about drawing more lands? I'm not loving the idea. I'm going to fetch now. What am I getting? Double red? I have double red. I want a green source. Let's get a breeding pool. Double blue. Snap counter spells. Seems good. Fetch shock, no problem. What do we have? Slightly less natural Tron? That's what it smells like. Oh, maybe not. They seem to be thinking. They're paying costs. All right, they did not have... Oh, boy, is that good for us. Okay, so here, I'm actually going to slam this and have the second clause be very relevant, because the opponent's going to have trouble playing Sphere, cracking it, and playing something afterwards. Let's play this. We're going to hit them for 2, and I'm going to play Damping Sphere. All right. So I think we are firmly in the strategy of choke them out on mana at this point. Walking Ballista. I can't counter that. Well, that's sad. All right, that's a point in the Pyromancer sucks column. Everyone get that down? All right. Tarmogoyf, our Lord and Savior. Interestingly, Damping Sphere is going to stop us from going Pierce plus Denial next turn, but I think that's going to be okay. Don't think that's going to be a huge issue. Pierce, Denial, Snap Denial with Goyf in play seems very good. Hitting the 4th land, actually very important for Snapcaster here. I think I still don't mind fetching again on that second turn in terms of sequencing to thin the deck slightly earlier than I would have fetching on turn 3, because I think I'm totally fine to wait a little bit for that land. They're cracking the Sphere here, which is very interesting. Land, you got it. If it's a Naturalize, I'm countering it on sight. That also needs to go. I'm just going to do that. I would love for you to not have a Relic. We're essentially countering interaction here. I'm treating this basically as a dismember because it just totally shuts off my Tarmogoyf. We also sped up our clock by a turn there. I would have loved to pierce there, but unfortunately we could not. I wouldn't be surprised to see a forest here. Could also see tower. Both seem fine. We have Urza's Tower. You got it. Land is going to stay in our hand for if/when we find Faithless Looting. Crack them for 5 and go. We do not have Pierce, Snap, Pierce because of our Damping Sphere. 4 mana. Thought not. I actually can't profitably flashback anything with Snapcaster Mage. Do I just want to put it into play? It's not even going to be good on that front, because Thought Not Seer just walls it very well. I might just let them take my Snapcaster Mage here. I guess I'd rather have it in play, but we can pierce something. I guess we can't really pierce anything profitably at this point. If they have an O-Stone before the 5th land, we can pierce it. Otherwise, we can't really. I'm going to flash this in. If we leave both cards in our hand, I think there's basically a 0% chance they take the Spell Pierce. So if they're just taking the Snapcaster Mage anyways, I may as well have it in play. I'm giving up a Spell Pierce that is basically useless to have a 2-1 in play, which is probably slightly better. Well, there's another Spell Pierce. 2 Spell Pierces actually would have been kind of nice together. I don't really want to swing with the Snapcaster Mage until they block Tarmogoyf. Now, we saw the opponent miss a land drop on their second turn, so it's entirely possible they don't have lands in hand. I dare say we're still on the try to cut them off of mana plan. Here's a Chromatic Sphere. It's going to cost them 2 mana to cast a spell, which is fantastic. That means we can pierce. Damping Sphere actually possibly doing work. 2 mana for a Sylvan Scrying. I think I'm in for stopping that. We don't have a lot of options to pierce anyways. Once they have a 5th land, pierce gets even worse. Cutting them off of the potential green mana for Thragtusk. Cutting them off of just hitting more... Oh, I didn't have to tap that mountain, but it's fine. Whoops, I hadn't cast a spell. Alright, so I might swing with the Snapcaster Mage here, because they might want to play around Lightning Bolt. Mana Leak actually is pretty good in this spot. If they want to play around Lightning Bolt and block the Tarmogoyf here, I am down. If they just want to go into Bolt range, I'm happy to put them into Bolt range. Lightning Bolt is now lethal. Cool. We've got Mana Leak to try to give us a little extra time with this Goyf on the table. That's going to resolve. You can have a land. If they hit 7 by playing that land and then playing another land next turn, we won't be able to counter a Thought Knot, but I don't think that's going to be super relevant. They found Sanctum of Ugin. That's not bad. That is not bad. Don't think they're attacking here. That'd be pretty bad. What do we have? It's a Wooded Foothills. Waiting on you, Faithless Looting. Let's get in with that Goyf. They're going to block. We get to draw another card. That's nice. Can't say I don't like drawing cards. Looting. We discard 2 lands. We cannot play Goyf and hold up Mana Leak, so I'm just going to discard 2 lands and pass the turn. I would rather have Mana Leak up, I think. Then again, second Goyf probably just kills them through anything they could possibly have. I guess we can Mana Leak a Thought Knot if they don't have another land anyways, so either spell is probably fine. I'm trying to play around something like a Thragtusk, which might give them an extra turn, and then the Beast might save them a turn. So I'm thinking Thragtusk kind of... Thragtusk is one of the cards that just might get them out of that spot, and I don't think they have any other cards that just might get them out of that spot if I hold up Mana Leak, and holding up Mana Leak counters Thragtusk, so I think we're fine there. I think I just run this back. Do I want Revelry? Revelry's already in my deck. Do I want a Braid? I don't think so. That seems pretty bad. I'm going to run that back. Let's give it a go. We had out... That was actually a bit of a slow game against Tron. In my experience, usually, we land a clock or 2. They set up Tron, and then it's just full-on race mode from there. That one, they interacted with our Pyromancer. We were a little slow after that, and we had the Damping Sphere to just slow them right down. So, usually, I don't find games against Tron go like that. I guess the sideboard games are a little more likely to go in that direction. I'm keeping this hand because we have Mana Leak, and we're going to slam Goyf onto. Actually, maybe this isn't worth keeping, given that we're just slamming Goyf onto. Do I want to fetch? I don't want more lands. I do not want more lands. I'm probably going to grab a Stomping Ground and bolt the opponent's face here. Lightning Bolt isn't doing much more than going face. Did they miss a land drop? Don't tease me like this, opponent. They missed a land drop. Wow. Okay. Let's go race game. Bolt face. I should pop out these graveyards. We're going to draw a card. Okay, so I am slamming Tarmogoyf. Reasons to slam Tarmogoyf. We're going to lead on this canal. The reasons to slam Tarmogoyf are they're missing land drops, and Mana Leak might not even be able to hit anything. Actually, you know what? If they kept a land like this, they probably have green spells to cast. So there's a decent chance Mana Leak does get to hit something, but I don't want to hold it up. I want my threat on the board right now. We are putting pressure into play. I chose Goyf over Pyromancer in that spot because Pyromancer dies to Ballista, and that's going to slow us right down. If they have the Dismember for Goyf, we probably get to follow it up with this Mandrills, which is A-okay in my books. I kind of want to play this. Once again, my life total is not very relevant. I'd rather crack these lands. I don't need 5 lands, but if I find a Faithless Looting, I'm binning 2 anyways. So I may as well have played the fetch land as opposed to one of these. I have another Steam Vents in my deck that I can get. They're going to map next turn, so I kind of want to hold up Mana Leak here, but knowing they won't have Tron makes me want to play out the Pyromancer, counter their first threat, and hope we just get there. So we're going to do this. Another good reason to play this fetch land is we have Mandrills in hand. I think there's enough reason to play the fetch land there. Are they cracking that or just going for the map? Ooh. Okay. Oh, maybe they have a push. No. Okay. They just wanted to draw a card. That is fair. That is very fair. The opponent made black mana, which makes me kind of want to be wary of Fatal Push, Collective Brutality, and Friends, but we haven't seen anything black or producing black mana out of them as of yet, so I'm going to keep assuming they're on mono green. It's the dominant build in the metagame right now. I think that's fine. There is the tower that we know about. Do we have another map? Another map would make me sad, because it means Tron's coming online soon. Them not having a map would make me very happy. Kind of want to put something in the graveyard to grow Tarmogoyf, but we don't have anything good for that, which makes me really sad. What do we got? If the opponent could play a do-nothing sorcery, whew. Alright. Reasons to be happy you played out your Pyromancer. Exhibit A. Now, the opponent's drawn a lot of cards since we saw them miss that land drop, so I don't think it would be unreasonable to assume that they're packing lands. If they relic us here, I think we're very far from casting Mandrills, so I don't mind fetching here. If they relic us, Mandrills is probably gone. If they don't relic, Mandrills is... You know what? I might hold this until after Goyf attacks. I'm going to do that. That's slightly better, I think. Are we just relicking now? We're not. We're gut-shotting. All right. You got it. That makes me very sad. That makes me want to hold on to this fetch land and play out Mandrills if I can. Okay. Now, tapping out here is kind of really bad. Goyf becoming an 0-1 and us not being able to play out Mandrills, that's worse. I am going to play my land, and I am going to tap out of Mana Leak so that I can cast Hooting Mandrills. They don't have a window to respond to this, so Relic is not going to bother this 4-4. We have a clock for sure. It shrinks this, but they're cracking Relic. If I didn't play the Mandrills out there, they're almost certainly cracking Relic before Goyf hits them, so I am absolutely okay with this. This is bad if they have Tronland Ugin. It is very good in probably just about any other scenario. Tronland Wormcoil also makes me sad. If we don't put pressure on the table, though, and they relic our Goyf, we're just really far behind. They're relicking themselves. Am I going to crack in response? I don't think so. I want to make them at least fear counterspells a little bit. I don't know how good that is. I don't know if it's worth not having that point of damage. I'm hoping it's worth not having that point of damage. I'm really hoping they don't have a Tron land here. Let's see something that is not Tron into very powerful top end. I'm actually kind of surprised they boarded in Gutshot. I don't think I've ever seen that against us. I guess it makes sense now that I'm running Pyromancer in addition to Delver, but still. Seems, I guess, a little narrow? I don't know. Maybe it's fine. It doesn't cost the mana, which is good. Costing a card is very real, though. Specifically, if our threat is Goyf or Mandrills, or a Delver that's already transformed, that Gutshot looks like a really bad card. Okay, so, good news. They have not Windmill Slammed anything. We probably aren't just straight up out of the game right now. That's good. The opponent thinking about things is awesome. It means the decision is not clear. If the decision was clear, I'd probably be scared. What do we have? O-Stone? Walking Ballista. You got it. Wouldn't be surprised if they do that and then pop the Relic here. Yep. Okay, so Goyf's down. We do not have a window to crack this and make Goyf a 1-2. So that's just going to happen. I think I'm going to crack this. I don't hate having 4 lands in play. Do I want another green source? I might. I'd rather have more blue. What do we have? 3-turn clock with Mandrills. I can't play Mandrills and Hold Up Leak, so I don't think I'm casting Mandrills. Do I just cast Mandrills anyways? They didn't play a land there. I'm going to play around Tron land off the top. I think that's probably in our best interest. If I had another fetch land, I'd be ecstatic. This is a basic forest. Thought Knot. Well, I'm going to counter that because they're probably taking my mana leak. And they get to trade with this. I'd rather put them to 4. That means Counterspell is live. That's not a Counterspell. All right. Young, not a Counterspell. I think I'm actually going to play a land here. Pay Shock. And play out this Hooting Mandrills while holding up Disruption. I guess the bluff just doesn't matter. Yeah, that's not very relevant. Them thinking we have another mana leak doesn't really matter here because I think they're just doing whatever they have. I definitely like playing the second Mandrills because it means we have them dead through... they can't dismember here. They're dead through Karn, exiling one of our threats. They're dead through... Thought Knot Seer, which trades with a Mandrills if I only have the one on board. What do we got, opponent? I don't think that green mana is going to be enough. Nice. All right, so be aggressive, especially when you see your opponent missing land drops, especially when the deck missing land drops is running 6, 7, 8, and 10 drops in it. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.